It's all about the blood. Yep, that's the slogan in the ministry I operate and with the products that I buy. Hi, I'm Rick Tehijio Binya, and I'm the host of the House of Hidalgo show on YouTube. If you're looking to promote your health with CBD oils, you're looking at a booking. Book greenflowerbotanicals.com for your health needs and use the link provided in the comment section of this video, because doing so will help you cleanse your blood and promote the blood of Jesus to the world. Just join our Healthy for the Blood campaign by ordering through the link below, and a percentage of the sale will benefit my ministry. It's all about the blood.
Sewing Cool Stuff and More of Yankton is your one-stop for general alterations, repairs, and custom sewing and sewing classes. Custom projects from baby blankets and memory quilts to jingle and shawl dance regalia dresses, and everything in between. Sewing Cool Stuff and More.
Hey, over here. Did you know you can support the House of Hidalgo show and your favorite cause at the same time? At the House of Hidalgo store, we promote conversation starters. Our apparel is sure to get them talking. Stop in at teespring.com/stores/House of Hidalgo, or click the link in the description box of this video to gaze upon the creativity. Then just order what you want, when you want it, and have it shipped directly to you. Wow! The House of Hidalgo store is here to serve you. Get conversations started the old-fashioned way. Wear it, don't swear it. And remember, we're all about the blood.
You make me see, become what you believe. We have the faith to stand alone. When I am here with you, touch me, I know it's true. Don't have to do this on my own. I don't know why you love me. I don't know why you even care. I don't know why you need me. I don't know why you're even here. It's what you make me see. Become what you believe. We have the faith to stand alone. When I am here with you, touch me, I know it's true. Don't have to do this on my own.
Hello and welcome, people. This is Rick, and I have a very special presentation to make here. And this is based on a lot of the evidence that I'm seeing out there. We got a lot of people in these United States of America who seem to have some knowledge of the Constitution, but they don't seem to be able to apply a simple concept that seems to have fallen through the crevice of society. So I want to make a free video. This is free. It's going to be available at my YouTube channel. It's also going to be available on my premium membership website in the free section. So, I would encourage people to join these membership sites and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Been sharing a lot of things that I think a lot of people would benefit from, but because of the niche that I inhabit, okay, that for some people seem to be going too far. I don't get the number of views that obviously I would like to get. If I conformed to the ways of the world a little bit more, I guess maybe I would get more views. But as you can see, this video is sponsored by Sovereign Love Free Church and their university system, which is Sovereign Love University. That is a church that I am the pastor of, and so naturally I'm a spokesperson for the university. And no, it's not the kind of university you go and get a 4-year degree from, okay? But it's the kind of university that teaches truth, and we need some of those. So here I am. But what I'm holding in my hand here is a copy of the Constitution of the United States. And I'm holding it because we're not going to go through it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to point something out. All right? So I wanted to have a copy of this because it's very important that we come to some common understanding about this document. And that common understanding is this: the states that are in union agreed to go by this as the law of the land. This is the law of the land. And in Article 4, Section 4, it talks about being guaranteed a Republican form of government. Now, that's not the Republican Party. It's a form of government where every individual person, whatever word you want to use, okay, is guaranteed rights that are inherent rights. And whether you're one who believes in God or doesn't believe in God, that's not even the point. They're inherent, okay? If you inherited them by a star exploding and by some high or low probability chance you were created out of this explosion, then great, whatever. If that's your religion, if science is your religion, then you were granted those rights by this religion, okay? If that's what your religion is. But me personally, I look at an intelligent design model, and I believe that my inherent rights come from the likeness in which I was created. I was created in the image of God. Therefore, in the image of God, I have been given rights. Okay? And those rights are expressed in this document, in the preamble, and those are, the rights to the pursuit of happiness. Okay? Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So you go read it for yourself, what it says here in the preamble. But I'm pretty sure that what you're going to read throughout this document is the law of the land. Okay? Because it says so. This is the law of the land. And all the states had to ratify it. They all had to agree to it. So anything, any law, any ordinance, any statute, anything that's created which is used against the people who ratified it, that's all of us that are native born, that are natural born, okay? Anything that's antithetical to the words of this Constitution is junk, trash, not law at all. Okay, can we come to that common understanding first? Okay, so if we can come to that common understanding, we can make a leap of faith now, and we can talk about contracts. So if we can come to a common understanding that the Constitution, this one, is the law of the land, then we can also come to an understanding that the words in it are to be used to interpret what the laws of the land are, right? So, if you're looking at the Constitution, and if you're in Section 1, or excuse me, Article 1 of the Constitution, you realize that Article 1 of the Constitution was specifically for the legislative powers, it's basically Congress, okay?
Biscayne Bay Bridal Boutique of Yankton offers a wide selection of bridal and special occasion gowns, veils, jewelry, and accessories. We have baptism, first communion, and quinceañera attire, as well as men's and boys' suits, plus a complete line of tuxedo rentals.
So Section 10 of Article 1 says this: no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Okay? I want you to pay close attention to no state shall enter into or impair the obligation of contracts. Think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. And now let's revisit some concepts. If a government is held to what it can do, the limited authority that we gave it here in the Constitution, and it's very limited, very, very limited as to what it can do, what it has authority to do. If that's the case, which it is, then we need to determine what is the delegation of authority in the Constitution that gives the government, any government in or of the United States, the ability to say, let's stick with a real general one that everyone's had to deal with at some point, like education. What delegation of authority in here gives the United States the authority to compel everyone to register or obtain a certificate of exemption from attending a public school? It's mandatory compliance, right? What in here gives them the ability to do that? I challenge anybody to answer that question. I don't think it's there. Except in one place. The one I just read. Congress has no authority to impair the obligation of a contract. So let's go through the chain here. You have the United States, set up as a republican form of government, ratified 1787, with the Bill of Rights 1791. Okay? Fast forward, Civil War passed, Reconstruction Acts. At the end, 1871, Organic Act. Fast forward, 1913, Federal Reserve Act. Fast forward, get to today. Now we have these things like Department of Education, Department of Revenue, which, I mean, if their only authority is to collect a duty, okay, I can go with that. but they do a lot of other things that aren't. So on and so forth. But let's focus on the Department of Education. They don't have authority, so what do they have to do? Well, first they create an act, which is, they didn't have authority to do that either, but under the Act of 1871, they could set up organizations, let's call them what they are, businesses, corporations, for profit, for gain, okay? And so they chartered, licensed, whatever you want to call it, the Department of Education by an act of a Congress that was acting in a capacity outside of these rules. So it must have been acting as a board of directors of a corporation which had the same name, the United States. And then they start to offer us a contract. Here's our offer, okay? I want you to go to Google, and I want you to either speak to Google or type in the words elements of a contract. Okay, elements of a contract. And you're going to see that every contract has 5 or 6, depending on the kind of contract, elements. And those are offer, acceptance, consideration, mutuality of obligation, competency, and capacity. Mark that one down, circle it, underline it, highlight it. And 6, some, depending on what kind of contract it is, have a written instrument. Now what happens? What happens in a situation like that of being compelled to register for school? Okay? You're offered an opportunity to operate under certain statutes that have been created for the operation of the school. Right? So it's an offer. And once you've accepted that offer, how do you accept it? You accept it by filling out the registration papers. Okay? And once you've accepted that offer, now there has to be some kind of consideration. There's something of value that's in the contract that's going to be hypothecated so that, you know, there's some kind of value obtained by the company or the institution that's offering you the contract. So what's the consideration? Well, it's your signature. It's all you ever really give them. Your signature is hypothecated. Can I prove this? Well, indirectly, I can. And I will on other videos. But I'm trying to show you something right now. So, once consideration is made and accepted, there's a mutuality of obligation. Okay? That mutuality is that you and the corporation that you have made a contract with agree to certain terms. That's mutuality. What are those terms? Well, they're probably on the form you signed. You probably signed a form that said, pursuant to statute blah, 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 in whatever state that you're in, and then you registered your kids, or you filled out an exemption for homeschooling. Okay, so there's the mutuality of obligation. And then 5, competency and capacity. Now this is the real clincher. The real clincher. Because your kids don't have the competency to sign up, they come to you as the parent. Or are they even seeing you as the parent? I happen to have absolute proof that they're not even seeing you as a parent. A parent meaning one who naturally birthed the child and has supreme authority as under God over the characterization of that child. That's what I mean by parent. And this capacity issue comes down to another piece as well. Have you ever heard of a term called accommodating party? An accommodating party is somebody who accommodates someone. Do you know that under the UCC, which by the way happens to be the law that contracts are governed under in the United States, under the UCC, did you know that if you sign anything ambiguously, that you are presumed to be the accommodating party? And that, in effect, that as the accommodating party, you are the surety for the contract? So if something doesn't happen according to the terms and conditions, statutes of the state of, whatever, who is the surety? You are. You're the accommodating party. You accommodated another party. Well, that's where a lot of people are going to get confused. They're going to say, what other party did I accommodate? And here's where it gets real fishy. This is where I'm going to lose a bunch of you. Okay? I'm going to lose a lot of you here. But I can prove it best by looking at a check. Okay? I can prove it best by looking at a check. I'm going to rip this check because, I don't really care about these checks anyway. And I don't really want to give away any of my numbers or anything like that. I should have prepared for this beforehand, but I did not. And now I'm suffering by having to quickly do something to cover the numbers on my check. Okay? But here we go. This is ripped off of one of my checks, the bottom. It's a signature line. Okay? That is a signature line. And if it ever adjusts, which I don't know if it will or not, because it's seeing my face and this thing's not very quality. Anyway, on the right side of that signature line, there is a little MP. It's not adjusting or focusing very well, so I think I'm about to give up on this, but there is an MP there, which means microprint. Anyway, it's there. Look on your own check. That microprint doesn't mean that there's something printed under that line. That line actually is a microprint. It says authorized signature, authorized signature, authorized signature, all the way across. Now, if the account is mine, then why do I need an authorized signature? Isn't that just presumed that I'm the authorized signature? Because good God, it's my account, right? It's got my name up in the corner. Well, turns out that there's a difference between your all capital letter name and you. Turns out that all capital letter name is a vessel. It's how you operate and do business. But that is considered a United States individual vessel. How do I know that? Because what do you fill out every February, March, or April, whenever it is you fill out your income tax return? Don't you fill out a United States individual tax return? Well, sure you do. You do because that's what that guy is. He's a United States individual. Now, so how does that relate to our scenario with the school? Well, it relates to the scenario with the school because guess what? You've been offered a contract. Not by a government, but by a government corporation. A corporation offering governmental services, you might say. And at the end of the day, what capacity did you organize that contract under. If you signed your name without any clear indication that you're signing as something other than the accommodating party, you're going to be construed to be the accommodating party. And if your kid doesn't show up like he's supposed to, CPS is coming. If your child doesn't do what he's supposed to, you're in trouble. A lot of you guys have been there. I know that. I did a lot of shows about this. I have personally been attacked by the CPS. I know how this works. But I'm doing this for the benefit of you, my friends, in Facebook world. Okay? So, Facebook world, if you're listening, and if you're still here after I've said all the things I've said, because it still makes sense to you, subscribe to my channel. Give me a chance to talk to you about how to remove yourself from that. It can be done. The channel information is just below. And sign up for my newsletter. Or not newsletter, but I got this thing called Edubytes. It's on my website, therockofsalem.org/membership. You click that, you'll see Edubytes Premium pops up. It's a WordPress site. It's for members only. Join. Be a part. Let's learn together. Let's get out of Babylon together. Guys, this is the law of the land. And much of what you are subject to is not anywhere in there. Microprint. For more, watch the House of Hidalgo show weekly on my channel. Sign up for Edubytes. Become a patron. Patrons with a $5 or more monthly gift to my ministry will receive all kinds of side information. Okay, we'll receive all kinds of things that will better your understanding about this entire system. So with that, thanks for watching. This has been another episode of the House of Hidalgo shows. We're calling this a public Edubyte. If you want to participate, you know where to go. God bless all of you. I hope the best for all. And I'll see you next time. By the way, we do this show, and this show is all about the blood.
What you made me see, think of what you